Hello, welcome back on this new video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can get a notification whenever I upload the new content. In this video, I'm going to present, this very interesting book that deals with financial risk modeling and portfolio optimization with R by Bernard Faf. And that's the novel right here, right? That's his name at the top right here. So it's a very interesting book, and I'm going to actually present, the different components briefly, a summary of the book and how we can make use of this book here, which is quite interesting. I hope this video helps, help you, explore the book further and, stuff like that. Without wasting further time, let's jump right into it. So over here, the first thing I'm gonna do is just start installing, the books accompanying packages, right? Financial risk modeling. So library, okay, and I'm going to come with this financial risk modeling, and then portfolio optimization, which is called FRAPO. So when we can install this as the first package, and then the next one I'm going to install is AVR. So we have this one as well, library okay, and then the third package I want to install here is FBasics actually. So library FBasics. I'm going to install the FBasics as well. FBasics, okay. Next thing I'm gonna do is just to look up to the package itself, right? The first package. So we can look up to the help. Okay, I can go straight here to the help, right? And then I'm gonna look up to package equal to I want to look up to this package right here, FRAPO, like the name says, the financial risk modeling and portfolio optimization package right here. Okay, so I'm gonna look up to it and see what is it here. So when you look up right here, you will see the details. So let me make this bigger right here. So that's actually the help. We could come straight here to look up to help and then type it in. We could actually come down here and type it in, and then we'll say it right. So right here you can see the details as regard this package. You can see the book, okay, the book example, and the details as regard the book example, right? And so the next thing I'm gonna look up to is actually this the example books. They have different books in there. This one right here, we can click up on this, okay, and then we're going to see what this is about. You will see the different component, and you will see the various component of the book. Other than that, we can also list. You go back here, you can list the example that we have here. So we have a list of example in the book. The book comes with a list of example. So we can look up to the list of the different example that the book comes with. So links, and then we will just put in the example, right? And then we will see the different example here that the book which is right here. Okay, we can run this line of code, and here we are. We will see different examples here. So we have all of these examples here. These are the different examples that the books come with, and we can actually even take a look at one of these examples to see how it actually looks. So we can here go ahead and say show example, right? Show example, and then we can choose the first one, actually number one, and then it's going to show us. I mean, we can also put the name of the example, right? This is like, I can just literally just grab this right here, the first example here, because this is, and put it right here. So I have this first example. We can run it and see how it looks, and that's how it looks actually. You see, you have this different here. You have the package has been loaded. It's a whole example actually that you can run and see actually what this is about. Like, you're definitely trying to optimize a portfolio here or stuff like that. Okay, so other than that, there is a lot that you can explore, and when you come down here, you will see all this detail here. When you type in the FRAPO, right, it's going to show you all the different stuff, the example, the component, and it is a help page, so you can explore each of these one after the other, right? Other than that, I think I may want to explore one of these examples, because we have a bunch of examples here. I have Euro stocks 50, so I can actually run one of these example and see how the data set looks like, and then eventually, right, and then eventually analyze the data. So we analyze one of these data set and then build up some portfolio, optimize build up some portfolio optimization models and see how we can optimize few of this portfolio here. So let me just take a look at I don't know, euro stock, right? So there is a stock here that says euro stock 50. Actually it's right here. Okay, we can just choose this right here and then run it and see how it looks. So so that's the data set. The data set is right here, and then I can look up to the head because I already run the data set. We can look up to the head of euro data set. Okay, we can look up to the head, and that's how it looks. That's the data set right here, just loaded here. You can see right here, that's the data set here. It's a bunch of different tickers, S&P 500. So we can say show, right? I mean, let me load the data set first. We need to load the data set on S&P 500. Okay, and after loading this data set, we can go ahead and look up to the head of the data set and see how it looks. Actually, I can look up to the tail if I want to, right? Look up to the tail, S&P 500. Okay, and let's see how it looks. So we have the tail here of S&P 500, and I can actually clear this one so we have enough space to see what we are running here. Great. So that's the head of S&P, the tail S&P 500. You have all of these different tickers. We can look up to the dimension and see what this looks like. Or the dimension of S&P 500. SP 500, right? And look up to the dimension. That's how it looks. 265 and then 476. So we have like 265 observation with 476 tickers if you want to, or stocks, 476 different stocks. It means that we do not have all of the 500 companies. We even have more than 500 with S&P 500. So we can look up the structure and see STR, right? And then S&P 500, and then we'll see the structure of this data set right here with all the details, right? We see that we have 265 observation, like I was saying, 476 variables, right? And you can explore it as you see fit. Let me load another data set here that I will call, and we can see this data set right here. Actually, whichever data set you want to run, you can just track it. You see we have euro, FTS 100, different data set that you can actually look up to and analyze or take a look, explore the data set, and then analyze and do whatever you want to use the data set. We can look at this stock in this data actually. So I can look at data set right here, data, and then load this data set that we call here stock adjusted, right? So I can look up to this one, this stock adjusted, and we can look up to the head. Okay, head of stock adjusted, right? So right here, so we run the data set and then we look up to the head, and the head is right here. So this is a very small data set. Okay, we have S&P 500, we have N225, we have FTSE 100, we have CAC 40, GDAX, and then HSI. Okay, which is actually an Asian, China-based stock. With that being said, we have these different. So what I'm going to do actually, and we can see the date, okay, which is start from 1991 up to, we can look up to the tail actually, because we have the head here, we know where this start. We can look up to the tail, okay, of stock adjusted here, and we will see the tail. The tail is 2011. So this is a data set from 1991 to 2011, and clearly you can see it's actually a monthly data set. And we can have more information about this as well if we go ahead here and click on it, and you will have a quick look at it. You see the format is right here. So it's a data frame with 240 month end observation of 6 stock indices. So we have 6 stock indices, S&P 500 and so on. So what I'm going to do here is actually trying to build different portfolio from these very data set, right? So what I'm going to do, the first thing first, I'm going to actually build a return series here, right? So I'm going to call this return RT, which is the return series of this very data set. Okay, so I'm going to build up here my return series, and then I will call this return, because I already have the necessary installed here. So return series, right? So we have return series. I'm going to use the FRAPO is better because we could use actually time series or whatever. So I'm using this, and then I'm going to use the stock adjusted, actually stock adjusted right here. And the method that I'm going to use, we have different methods actually. The method I'm going to use discrete. Okay, I'm going to use discrete, and I'm going to look at the trimming. The trimming is actually telling you equal to true. So because it will be null when you trim, and you say trim equal to true, is going to actually remove, instead of having NA for the very first date, the trimming is going to get rid of the NAs, and then we're going to start, the data is going to start off from August instead of starting from July, and then we're going to have NAs. That's what the trimming is actually about here. So we can rerun this line of code, and we can take a look at actually the return series, which is RT here. We can look at the head actually, instead of looking at, we can look at the head of RT and see how it looks. So we have the returns here, right? You can see that is what I was saying. We do not have July, we have August. Actually, the data set start from July somewhere here. The head start from July, right? But when you look at the return series, you see stuff from August, yeah, because we trim it. Okay, so clearly you can see the return series are here. Okay, we have the different return series here. Great. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just to start building different portfolios. So right now we have 6 different tickers here, right? 6 different stocks, right? And we may want to know, okay, so say I want to build like a portfolio, right? And I'm gonna do some investment here, and then I want my portfolio to be the most diversified portfolio. So I want it to be as diversified as possible. So if you want to build a portfolio that is diversified, made of all these 3 tickers, S&P 500, and these 6 different tickers right here, we are going to, let me just write this down here, building portfolios, optimum portfolio. Actually, let me say optimal portfolios. Okay, great. So the first portfolio that I want to build up here is, I will call this number 1, most diversified portfolio. Okay, most diversified portfolio. So I'm going to build here the most diversified portfolio that I will call here PMD, most diversified portfolio. To do that with these different libraries that we just the packages and different libraries we install here is very simple, right? So we call this P1. That's my first portfolio that I'm building. We just use the PMD, right? So there is this PMD function that gives us the most diversified portfolio here. PMD of the return series. So whenever you want to build a portfolio, right, you need the return series. But with the return series, now we're going to build our most diversified portfolio. So we have this PMD function, and then we put the return series here, function that we just created, the RT, which represents the return series. With that being said, we will have our P1 here, which represents our most diversified portfolio. So based on the most diversified portfolio, we are going to see here the different combination, the different percentages of each of these stocks that will make up the most diversified portfolio. So let me run this line of code, and we will see there were, different iterations. We have a first iteration, the second iteration, first, third, and different iteration, went down, and then at the end of the day, we came up with this optimal weight. You see right here, we have optimal weight for portfolio of type most diversified. So we obtained here our most diversified portfolio, which is the optimum. Okay, that's not the optimal portfolio, and clearly you can see the percentages, the different combination, to make up the most diversified portfolio right here. So let me push this one upward, and hopefully we'll be able to see clearly. Okay, right here, so we need to invest like 3.4% of S&P 500, okay, 36% of N225, 14% of FTSE, 9% of CAC, 12% here, and HSI 23%. That's how we will be able to obtain our most diversified portfolio.